Do you ever wonder if the anonymous people you meet here die and you never know it? I had a friend I used to talk to a lot. He and I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft together. He also played a lot of Diablo. Then one day, he just stopped logging on World of Warcraft. And he stopped logging on Diablo as well. And then his Battle.net was always logged off as well. Back then I concluded he just quit everything overnight. But now that I think about it, he probably died. But I will never know for sure. It's been like 8 years now and he still hasn't returned. I still have him on my friends list. I've thought about that lol. Let's all make a pact to post on Reddit if we die. I actually think about this a lot. I've been playing games online since about 2002. In that time, I've easily encountered tens of thousands of people, maybe more. I always wonder, how many of those people were on my team the very last time they were online? How many never made it to the next season? And so on and so forth. Morbid. But I'm curious. Now I do. I wonder how many people I pass in my daily routine died and I never knew it. Like I hope that old lady from the corner shop just retired. I presume that bouncer who used to drink drive at my local just quit. Were any of those suicide, car crash, heart attack stats people I passed by every day and barely noticed? Somewhere on all your lists is almost guaranteed to be at least one person that died on one day. It will be all the people on them. When I used to live alone, I used to ponder that if I were to die sometime after I went home Friday, nobody would find out until I didn't show up to work on Tuesday and they called the cops to do a wellness check. It's kinda scary but equally sad. I think about one girl that I met here and talked to for a long time. I'm hopeful she just moved on with her life and everything is going well for her. There was a user who I'd occasionally check in with and chat every once in a while. Just went back to chat with them after a bit and realized they hadn't posted anything in over a year. Hopefully they just stopped using Reddit. Although they were very active and then suddenly not. And the things they were posting about. Oof. Boy, do I have a story for you. One of them did probably die. So last year on a previous account I met a guy who turned out to just be a 30-year-old Indian guy. We were supposed to become friends but then stopped talking for a few months because I was 14 back then. And so we couldn't be friends because of our age differences. Until one day he randomly texts me and asks me how I'm doing. I was like, oh, it's this guy, and replied, hello, I'm doing good, thanks for asking. WBU? He says, not good. I just got into a car accident and my leg is broken, and so we had a talk. And turns out he had a cat accident with a cop. In India, cops are basically criminals. And couldn't go to work because of it. And since he is the provider of the family, he isn't doing so good. And then I ask about why he's coming to me instead of his family and friends. And turns out his family are racists who hate his wife because she's black. And all of his friends had their excuses. And I asked if he had a kid that could take in a job, and turns out he has a 1-year-old. So he tells me about all his sad mental thoughts and how he's thinking of just killing himself and his family and how it was common in India anyway. Then he asks me for money. I don't have any money cause I'm a teen and had no way of sending the money to him. And then I ask him how long until he recovers and he says about a week. I look up how long can someone stay alive with no food and it's way longer. But his only problem is water. And he says that he can handle water. So then I give him some words of encouragement and then he goes on his way. And he also tells me that he's texting 1 week later. It's been a year. And a few months after I looked up how long can 1-year-olds can live without food, and turns out it's just a few hours. He couldn't stay alive for any more than a week. The event didn't traumatize me because he was still pretty much a stranger. But damn, did it show me how cruel the world can be. Yes, I'm actually wondering that now. I responded to a post where the op talked about planning their suicide. I commented, and then sent them a direct message. They responded once, but I haven't heard from them in 4 months. Their last post was 3 months ago. I mean, honestly, this sort of happened to me. I was on a chat site and had a casual friend on there. I was using it for dating, so I met someone and didn't log on for a while. The guy had mentioned suicide before but hadn't in a while. I got on to see he had last sent a message saying he was planning to kill himself a few days prior. I messaged him and ended up looking up his FB since I knew his real name. He had died. Very surreal and unnerving, truly. Sometimes I think about how many people died cause of the pandemic and they just go offline forever, with no parting words. But their thoughts live on with us. I sometimes think about that. When I get ghosted despite a fun conversation and the promise to return the next day. But it just happens too often. Flakiness is just more likely than death. This is one of my fears. I roleplay a lot on Discord, and when someone doesn't talk to us for more time than usual, I get scared. Mainly because a lot of people die daily. Like in car crashes or things like that. Yes. Not necessarily on Reddit, 'cause it's more an anonymous place for me. But on social media in general. 'Cause it's happened to me before where friends of mine IRL had died and I wondered why they hadn't gotten on social media in a while, then found out they were murdered. I think about that often. I was thinking about that earlier today. I've seen some subs in which Reddit users known to the community pass away and people who knew them comment about it, and people who followed them say good words. I think about it often, but there's not much I could do, so it's only a passing thoughts.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.